In the last session, we discussed about SAP HANA basics, okay, SAP HANA editions in which HANA is available, okay, what are the new software technology innovations, new hardware technology innovations that HANA can fully leverage. So moving forward, today's our class agenda is, we'll start with SAP HANA Studio. So what is SAP HANA Studio and how to launch, how to add the system to the SAP HANA Studio and how we can perform various types of activities using this SAP HANA Studio. In any edition of SAP HANA, that can be a platform edition, enterprise edition or extended enterprise edition. The main component in SAP HANA is SAP HANA IMCE, In-Memory Computing Engine or SAP HANA Database. After this SAP HANA IMCE, the second important component is SAP HANA Studio. So you can see in the platform edition or enterprise edition or in extended enterprise edition, there is a component called SAP HANA Studio. So what is this SAP HANA Studio and what are the various perspectives that are given in SAP HANA Studio? Suppose if you are working at a client side as a SAP HANA consultant or BOBI with SAP HANA, you need to have very good knowledge and experience of SAP HANA Studio, how to launch, how to work with this SAP HANA Studio, the perspective related to the concerned consultant. So SAP HANA Studio is a client tool provided by SAP in any HANA edition. That can be a platform edition, which is very basic edition of SAP HANA, enterprise edition or extended enterprise edition. So SAP HANA Studio is delivered in SAP HANA appliance and provides an environment for administration, modeling, development and data provisioning. It can be installed on the local client workstation. Suppose this is a project. In this project, there are various team members like HANA administrators, HANA modelers, HANA subject matter experts, HANA developers. So once SAP HANA database is installed, so these team members, they want to connect to SAP HANA IMC, in order to perform their respective activities. Like HANA admin people, they want to connect to SAP HANA MC to perform administration activities. SAP HANA modelers, they want to connect to SAP HANA in order to create the information models or to perform the modeling activities. So what is a tool that all these team members can use to connect to SAP HANA IMC in order to perform their respective activities is SAP HANA Studio. So once SAP HANA Studio is installed on your client workstation or on your local PC, start all programs, HANA. You will find this folder, SAP HANA folder. This is SAP HANA Studio. Or you can create a shortcut on your desktop. So what is this SAP HANA Studio? It's a client tool designed in Java technology. So SAP HANA Studio is a client tool which is Java based application that runs on Eclipse platform. Basically SAP HANA Studio is Java Eclipse based tool. So using this tool, different team members like HANA administrators, modelers, development, and we can perform data provisioning, different types of activities. It can be installed on your local PC. Once you launch SAP HANA Studio for the first time, so this is called welcome screen of SAP HANA Studio. First time after installation of this client tool, once you launch SAP HANA Studio, so you will find SAP HANA Studio welcome screen. In SAP HANA Studio welcome screen, there are various perspectives. You can see there are various perspectives in which this SAP HANA Studio can be launched. What is a perspective? Now we have an option of launching this tool in administration perspective, modeling perspective, development perspective, LCM perspective. See, there are different perspectives. When you start SAP HANA Studio for the first time, you can decide on several perspectives. What is a perspective is? A perspective are user-defined layouts or views for several application use. So using this tool can be used by administrators, HANA modelers, HANA developers, HANA data provisioning consultants, HANA subject matter experts, HANA business users. So many people in the project team, they can use this tool. But using this tool, they want to perform their respective activities. What are the responsibilities? What are the what are the different types of responsibilities they have to perform in the project? Accordingly, they want to launch this tool. Perspectives are predefined user interface layouts or views for several application use. A modeler perspective is used by data architect to create the information modeler. Suppose, as a SAP HANA modeler, I can launch this SAP HANA Studio in modeler perspective. As a SAP HANA administrator, I want to launch SAP HANA Studio in admin perspective. So in admin perspective, I will get more options related to administration because I am a HANA administrator. I want to launch this tool in admin perspective. Admin perspective is a predefined user interface layouts of SAP HANA Studio, which facilitates more towards administration activities, whereas modeler perspective facilitates more towards modeling activities. Development perspective facilitates more towards development activities. LCM perspective facilitates more towards other types of managing information models. There are different types of activities related to LCM. Suppose I want to launch an admin perspective. Once you launch SAP HANA Studio in admin perspective or modeling perspective, in the left hand side, this is called navigator view. Before it is a navigator view. Now from Service Pack 8 onwards, SAP changed the name of this window. The name of this window is System View. See, this part of SAP HANA Studio, before it was Navigator View. It was Navigator View. From Service Pack 8 onwards, SAP changed the nomenclature. So now the name of this view is, or the name of this window is System View. What is System View? What is the purpose of this System View? Once you launched SAP HANA Studio first time, in the System View, you have to add the system or systems. What is a system? System is nothing but HANA database or HANA in-memory computing engine. There are two methods how we can add the system to System View. First one is using manual method. Right click in the system, add the system. This is one method, manually adding. Second one is, if you want to add the complete landscape of SAP HANA, suppose in the client landscape you have a development box, testing box and production box. You want to add all the systems here. In the System View, you can add more than one HANA database. You can add more than one system. If you want to add manually, right click, add the system. Again, here we have two options. If you want to add under appropriate folder, first you can create a new folder. Under this folder you can add. So in order to add the HANA IMCE to the System View, we need some parameters. You can get these parameters from HANA administrator or from concerned person in the team. Host name is instance number. It's a single host configuration or multiple containers. So we'll see later on these two. Select the language. In order to add the system to the navigator System View, apart from host name and instance number, we need one valid database user. Now I added the system. This is the way how I added the system is manual method. In case if you want to add the complete landscape to this System View, suppose in a project environment you are working in a project. In that project we have a development environment, testing environment, and production environment. You want to add the complete landscape to your System Views. You want to add all these three systems to your System View. In that case, we can add complete HANA landscape to the System View using a XML file. Your administrator will give this XML file, which consists of all the information about the landscape, development, host name, okay, instance number, QA, everything. So if you want to add the complete HANA landscape to the System View, file, import, SAP HANA, select landscape option. In SAP HANA folder, landscape. Then browse your XML file. It supports only XML file. So once you have the corresponding XML file given by your administrator, which includes the complete landscape, you don't have to add manually like this. Well, this is a training environment. We have only one sandbox. That is the reason I added the sandbox manually. Now you can see, as of now, I am in administration console. There are several perspectives: HANA Modeler, BW modeling, HANA development, HANA administration, ABAP with HANA, Java with HANA. See, there are so many perspectives here. Among all these perspectives, you can add system to the system view in only two perspectives. One is, this is one of the certification question, administration perspective. Second one is modeler perspective. So in only these two perspectives, you can add the system, or you can add the complete landscape to the system view. In other perspectives, you cannot add. See, in other perspectives, you cannot add. Okay, which perspectives allow you to add the system or systems to the navigate system view is HANA Modeler perspective or development perspective. So after installation of this client tool, whenever you want to add the system or system to the system view, system means here HANA IMC or HANA database. So make sure you have to be in any one of these perspectives in order to add the system or systems to system view. Any questions, folks? Yeah, one more time, quickly I recap what we did so far. Today we started with SAP HANA Studio. So what is SAP HANA Studio is? SAP HANA Studio is a client component or a client tool, comes along with in any HANA appliance. In the demo session we discussed there are three editions in which HANA appliance is available. First one is Platform Edition, Enterprise Edition, Extended Enterprise Edition. In any one of these editions, in HANA appliance, the core component, you can say heart of SAP HANA is SAP HANA database. That is also known as SAP HANA IMC, in-memory computing engine. The version is 1.0 with Service Pack 9. And there are other components also. If you look at any one of these editions, after SAP HANA database, there is one component called SAP HANA Studio. See, SAP HANA Studio. SAP HANA Studio. So what is this SAP HANA Studio? For example, everyone is aware of SQL Server database. With SQL Server database, we will get one client tool. What is that client tool? SQL Server Management Studio. What is the purpose of this client tool? Using this client tool, we can connect to SQL Server database engine, or we can connect to SQL Server database server. And we can perform administration activities, development activities. SQL Server administrators will use this tool. SQL Server developers will use this tool. So using these tools, we can perform all administration activities, development activities using GUI environment. So that makes our job easier. Like Thought, okay, there are so many third-party tools using which we can connect to various databases. Okay, for example, using Thought, we can connect to Oracle. Okay, based on GUI interface, we can perform different types of activities. In the same way, when SAP released SAP HANA database, SAP HANA appliance, they also released a client tool using which we can connect to SAP HANA database in order to perform administration activities, modeling activities, development activities. There are various other types of activities also which are possible with SAP HANA. So SAP HANA Studio is delivered in SAP HANA appliance and provides an environment, a GUI based environment for administration, modeling, development and data provisioning. This client tool you can install on your client workstation or on your local PC. SAP HANA Studio is a Java based application that runs on Eclipse platform. Basically this is not a .NET based application, or it's a Java based application, Java based Eclipse platform basically. So once you install this client tool on your machine, so how to launch this tool is, go to the start menu, all programs, you will find SAP HANA. Under SAP HANA folder, you will see this tool, install, or you can create a shortcut on your desktop. So when you install the tool first time, after installation of this tool, when you launch this tool for the first time, this is called welcome screen of SAP HANA Studio. What is welcome screen is, in project environment, there are different team members like HANA administrators, HANA modelers, HANA subject matter experts, HANA developers, HANA business users. All these team members, they want to connect to SAP HANA IMC to perform administration activities, to perform modeling activities, to perform architectural level activities, to view the data, okay, for other purposes. So how they are going to connect to SAP HANA IMC? Using a tool called SAP HANA Studio. At the same time, the administrator wants to connect to SAP HANA using SAP HANA Studio in order to perform administration activities. HANA Molder wants to connect to SAP HANA Studio using wants to connect to SAP HANA database using SAP HANA Studio to perform modeling activities. Means every team member in the project, they have different role and responsibilities assigned to them. So in order to facilitate all these activities using SAP HANA Studio, SAP came up with prospective concept. What is prospective is, in SAP HANA Studio we have various perspectives. When you start Studio for the first time, you can decide on several perspectives. A perspective are predefined user interface layouts or views for several application views. In SAP HANA Studio welcome screen, you can see various perspectives in which SAP HANA Studio can be launched. Admin perspective. If you launch an admin perspective is used by HANA administrator to administrate and monitor the HANA database engine. As administrator, more suitable perspective in SAP HANA Studio for me is admin perspective. As a HANA modeler, in order to perform all modeling activities, to create the information models and all, more suitable perspective for me is modeling perspective. See, before we are not getting this HANA model, this is a quick view in admin perspective. Okay, once you launch SAP HANA Studio, in only two perspectives, you will get this system view, because using modeler perspective and admin perspective, only you can add the system to the system view. On the left hand side, this area is called system view. Before it was navigator view. From Service Pack 8 onwards, SAP changed the name of this pane as a system view. See, before it was navigator view. Now it's not a navigator view anymore from Service Pack 8 onwards. This is another company material. Just I want to show you what is a, see, this is a system view. It's not a navigator view anymore. So what is this system view? What we can do in the system view? In the system view, you can add the system. HANA system means HANA database. There are two methods to add the HANA system. One is manual method. You can right click, directly add the system, or you can create a new folder like this. Under the folder also you can add the system. So in order to add the system to the system view, these are the parameters that are required. One is HANA hostname, instance number, then one valid database credentials, one valid database user in SAP HANA. I am using the system. So to the system view, we can add more than one system. We can add more than one HANA database. Suppose if I want to add the complete HANA landscape of my project, like HANA development, testing, and production environments, you don't have to add manually like this. You can get one XML file from the admin people. File, import, expand SAP HANA folder. In SAP HANA folder, select landscape, click on next. So whatever the XML file provided by concerned person in your project team, then select. Once you click on that open XML file, from the XML file, SAP HANA Studio read all the systems information. It will add one by one all the systems. Once the systems are added, once the system or systems are added to the system view, now you want to view, you want to see all the details about this SAP HANA IMC or SAP HANA database. Place the cursor on top of SAP HANA database or SAP HANA IMC. Click on, this is called administration console. Well, the administration console is for HANA administrators, because whatever the information that is included in this administration console is useful only for HANA administrators. Okay, so at this point of time, I cannot explain each and every tab, because in order to understand these tabs, we require so much of other HANA information. Okay, we need to have some understanding of HANA database, because this is hardly our second class. So as we move on in coming classes, I will explain. Just let me quickly walk through what are these tabs. In the overview tab, you will get the general information. General information like what is HANA version. Okay, HANA supports only one operating system. HANA database, one is, that is SUSE Linux. What are the alerts? The alerts are very important for HANA administrators to take the appropriate action, okay, on timely basis for smooth up and running of this database. So used memory, resident memory, CPU usage, disk usage, all the general information. Landscape, whatever the services that are available in SAP HANA database, now you can see all the services. Compiler server, daemon, index, we'll learn these services, the architecture of these services in SAP HANA database architecture. Services, among these services, index server is very important, which holds the complete data in the main memory, which execute all the operations. So alerts. So as of now, these are the alerts we have. Those alerts are listed in the overview tab also. From this tab also, you can directly come to alerts tab. Click on show alerts. Alerts with high priority, alerts with low priority. So HANA administrator can read these alerts to take appropriate action. So performance. So what is the performance? We'll see later on. Volumes. So SAP HANA is a in-memory database. The complete data resides in the main memory. in case of power outage, in case of system reboot, the complete data can be erased. So we need the data persistence on a non-volatile media like this storage for the data safety. So now you can see the data volume, log volume. So we'll see what is data volume, log volume, persistence layer, how the persistence layer will insert the data from relational engines to the non-volatile media in architecture sessions. Configuration, if you want to set up configuration with any other external tools, and if you want to set initial parameters, means administrator will do all these things. System information. In system information, there are bunch of files. There are bunch of tables, which consists of lot of system information, which is very useful for HANA administrators. Failed backups. As an administrator, I want to see what are the backups that are failed. How many connections are established? How many sessions? Connection statistics, database information. So not only this tab, whatever the information from various tabs of HANA administration console is useful only for administrator. Diagnosis files, there are different types of diagnosis files like trace files, then log files. These files are, so you can see the files with extension log, there are the files with extension trace. So these files are very useful for HANA administrators to diagnose the problem, to diagnose a specific problem, to find out the root cause of the problem for troubleshooting. Trace configuration. There are different types of traces supported by SAP HANA database. We'll talk about these traces in coming sessions. Expensive statement trace, performance trace, SQL trace, database trace, user specific trace, end-to-end traces also. As per our business requirements, the HANA administrator can activate any one of these traces so that we can keep track of the specific, for example, expensive statement trace. If expensive statement trace is active, all the statements in that that last longer than specified threshold value will be traced, will be tracked. So you can analyze the results on the performance tab under expensive statement trace. Like this, you can, whichever the trace we required as per our project needs, those traces can be activated by HANA administrator, and they can find corresponding trace files in the performance tab to troubleshoot the problem, to monitor the engine in a smoother manner. Any questions, folks? Harshini, Izaz, Sridhar. I guess for Sridhar and Harshini, this is a second class or first class. I have to take a little bit HANA introduction session for them. I don't know. I will talk to Srikanth. Then if you guys require Sridhar and Harshini, the introductory session. Okay. If you guys don't require the introductory session, I can continue with SAP HANA Studio. Otherwise, tomorrow first 15-20 minutes, I will quickly recap the HANA introduction, the Unit 1 introduction, and HANA positioning. Okay. Once you expand this SAP HANA IMC, we are in Service Pack 9. That is the reason you will find 5 folders altogether. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folders. But up to HANA 1.0, Service Pack 3. You will find only 2 folders. One is catalog, second one is content. So first we'll start with catalog. What is a catalog? What exactly it consists of? Okay, and then we'll move on to content. Then in later support packs, how the system added other folders, what is the functionality, what is the purpose of those folders also I will explain. Sorry. Okay, this is the HANA instance and it will list, once you place the cursor here, you can see HANA HDB, HANA database. This is a host name and this is a instance number. And in bracket, it will show you the user using which we added the system to the system view. In SAP HANA database, how we will store the data? Though it's an in-memory database, it's also a RDBMS. It follows all the rules of EF core. Okay. Here also we'll store the data in form of tables only, but it supports two types of tables, row-based and column-based tables. But the basic concept here is the data also stored in the form of tables. Along with tables, we can create other database objects also, like procedures, functions, triggers, synonyms, all these kind of database objects we can create in SAP HANA database also. But in SAP HANA database, these objects, these HANA database objects can be created under appropriate schemas, only. So your complete catalog folder consists of schemas. See, this is a schema, this is a schema. See, if you expand the schema, in this schema you can create tables, okay, all other database objects. Now, what are the different types of schemas that exist in catalog folder? There are three types of schemas. First one is system defined schemas. As an installation, there are some system schemas comes along with the installation. See, any schema starts with _sys. See, sys _xs, sys __ sys. All these are the system schemas. I will explain what is the purpose of these system schemas. It's too early to talk about the system schema, what exactly this system schema consists of. As we move on in the coming sessions, we'll see the purpose of these system schemas. Second one is in catalog. There are three types of schemas can reside. One is system schema, system defined schemas. Second one is user defined schemas. What are the user defined schemas? As per my project implementation requirements, as a client who is implementing the project, I can create n number of schemas here. How to create a user-defined schema? We don't have any graphical user environment or graphical user interface to create the schema. Whereas we have the graphical user interface to create the tables, to create the views. For other objects, we have graphical user interface. For example, once the schema is created, if you want to create a table, we have GUI based interface to create the table. But we don't have this kind of user interface to create the schema, because schema is the base object that is required to create our other database objects. So every database object can associate with a specific, has to associate with a specific schema. So in order to create a schema, we have to execute a simple select statement. Create schema, schema name. So place the cursor on IMC. See on the right hand side of system view, see there is a SQL console. Open the SQL console. These are SQL consoles. Here you have to execute a simple create statement. The statement is create schema, schema name. Now underneath we got a message. Schema successfully created. Refresh your catalog. So these are schema just now created. So once the database schema is created, now you can create all these database objects under this schema. Like this, the customer who is implementing, the client who is implementing the HANA project, as per their business needs, they can create, as per their RAM capacity, they can create a number of schemas. Again, in each schema, you can create thousands, hundreds of thousands of tables also. Third one is schema pertaining to applications, application schemas. What is this application schemas? From Service Pack 3 onwards, HANA can be used as a data mart in a sidecar approach, and HANA can also be used as an underlying database for BW. See, from Service Pack 3 onwards, up to Service Pack 2, HANA can be used as a only data mart. But Service Pack 3 onwards, HANA can also be used as underlying database for SAP BW, Business Information Warehouse, which is a MOLAP application from SAP. Up to Service Pack 2, HANA as a data mart, that's it. As a secondary database, sidecar approach. Service Pack 3 onwards, we can use HANA as underlying database for BW from service. Later support packs, even SAP has given option of using HANA as underlying database for ECC, CRM. Suppose one BW system is installed on top of SAP HANA. Or one CRM system is installed on top of SAP HANA. So once this application is installed on top of SAP HANA, for a specific application, HANA is underlying database. For this application, only one schema is allocated in SAP HANA database. Those are called application schemas. Suppose the BW is running on top of HANA, only one schema is allocated for BW. All the BW tables are stored in that schema. If CRM is running on top of SAP HANA, one schema is allocated for the CRM. For all the tables of CRM will be created and the data will be stored in that schema only. Suppose how the system will create the schema. Suppose the BW host name is some AB. The schema name the system will create is in database SAP is a keyword and the host name of your application. So SAP AB. One BW system is running on top of SAP HANA, the same HANA database. So if you want to see the backend database, system status, log into any SAP system, system and status. So here the backend database for this BW is HDB. Okay, the host name, okay, instance number. See, owner means schema. See, SAP keyword, and what is the host name of the system? BW4. SAP BW4. Suppose this is one of the info queue, HANA optimized info queue. Now, if you want to see, okay, in which schema the fact table of this cube resides. Find the table. The fact table of that cube is, once I activate that HANA optimized info cube, it will create this is a fact table of that cube. So in which schema the system created that table? In SAP BW4 schema. Okay. So in catalog you will find all the database schemas that exist, the schemas that are exist in SAP HANA database. Complete database content grouped under appropriate schemas. There are three types of schemas can exist here. One is system schemas, user defined schemas, and third one is application schemas. So if you want to create a custom schema, place the cursor on SQL console. Just execute a simple statement, create schema name. Click on execute button. Then you will find corresponding schema will be created under this catalog. So once the schema is created, under that schema you can create the database objects which are required for your HANA implementation. Starting with tables, functions, procedures, column views, all other database objects. But in order to create the database object, first we require schema. Without schema we cannot create any database object in SAP HANA. First we require the schema. Any questions, folks? Yes, Sijas?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. When you go back to your HANA modular screen, I see on the HDB system there's a green square. I'm actually trying to compare the same thing on my side, but I only see a triangular on my side, and it says some services are not running. What does that mean?
Where is that?
On
And
if you scroll up on your screen.
yeah, I did.
If you scroll up on your screen where it says the system name, HDB, yeah, right here. I see there's a green, yeah, the green box there.
The green box means it's HANA, all services are started. Okay, the database is up and running. If you see red mark here, means the database server is stopped.
Okay, on my system, I'm seeing a triangle, a yellow triangle.
Yeah, oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, so all the services are started. Maybe one service which is not required. Okay, that is still in the progress, but you can start using.
Okay, okay, it doesn't really matter then. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
And
yes.
I can click on Open SQL and start working on whatever you just did. I can just copy that.
Yeah. Everything is possible. Everything is possible.
Okay, thanks.
No. Yeah. So we'll continue tomorrow, folks. See you guys tomorrow.